Well, what's going on, everybody? I decided I'd just go live because I was watching this anyway. I figured, why even wait? I'll just go live right now because I was covering it. There are riots taking place, and I believe this is the 10th consecutive day in Paris, France, where rioters are rioting again. So, as you can see, this is live from Paris, France right now. Riot police are out. Fires have been set. It looks like some people were trying to break into a building that had a ton of police officers inside the building. I'm not quite sure what the building was. Now reinforcements have arrived from the police department and they are arresting a bunch of these people. Now the protests in Paris are taking place because of the pension reform. They actually upped the age that people are able to receive pension. I believe it's from 62 to 64 or something. And that's why everyone is out rioting out here in Paris, France. We also have some other news updates. So I figured I'm just going to go live right now. We may do the giveaway live now. I'm not quite sure. But we're going to be live for a little bit because I think it's relevant to everybody, to what's happening across the world. And everything like that. So this is live Paris right now. Let me see if I can't find more about the pension for pension France, so I can be informed when I tell you. So all right, it says protesters flood the streets and cities across France today for the 10th consecutive day. As you can see, they're pushing and shoving each other like they have been for a while. It says an ongoing show of anger against pension overhaul plan that has triggered some of the country's deepest unrest in years. Demonstrators blocked roads and marched into the tracks of a train station in central Paris. Strikes which have shut down railways and schools along with the demonstrators have piled pressure on President Emmanuel Macron to resolve a standoff with unions over his plan to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64, a rift that escalated into battle over Macron's vision for a tough but necessary reforms opposed by the labor movement set on fighting to preserve every scrap of the country's popular and hard-won pension system. This is clearly not a neutral article. The main Paris rally appears to be growing more tense as the evening approaches, while many continue to chant peacefully around Leon Blum Square. Some protesters have smashed a shop window and set fire to garbage in the streets, as you can see currently taking place on your screen. Footage shows clashes between protesters and police in other areas of the city. Fireworks can be heard in the distance as well. French officials say about 93,000 people protested in Paris. Union representatives estimated the number to be more than 4 times higher. Now, here's a key update as of an hour ago. The leader of one of the main unions behind protests proposed a mediation process to find a way out of the crisis gripping France. Laurent Berger, Secretary General of the French, here's the police. Well, I should have had run music queued up, but I don't even have that on this one. It's the police running. There's multiple camera angles, as you may or may not be able to see. Multiple camera angles. Secretary General of the French Democratic Confederation of Labor raised the idea during an interview with French radio France Inter on Tuesday morning, calling the demonstrations a democratic process. So the union believes that these protests and these riots are a democratic process, which is kind of interesting if you think about it, because, well, they're riots. You know what I'm saying? They're riots. Anyway, protesters lit cars and banks on fire earlier today in the western city of Nantes. I probably said that wrong. And threw projectiles at police and Reims, according to photos and video, while large crowds in both cities have marched peacefully against the government's retirement reform effort. In Nantes, throngs of protesters marched, many wearing union shirts and holding union balloons. The demonstration attracted 18,000 people, according to the police department, while union leaders gave a tally of 60,000 people. Images from the city Tuesday show people clad in black, their faces covered, setting fire to furniture, garbage bins, and debris in the streets. So, you know what's interesting is I saw something earlier Let me see. Because I wonder if this is... So it's 7:20 p.m. in Paris, France right now. So they are essentially 6 hours ahead of us here. It's 7:20 p.m. So nighttime is likely going to get a little bit nuttier, right? If all this is happening currently there. It's probably going to get crazier. Here's a comment from someone. We actually addressed this last night. This comment that you see on your chat from Stacy Parker. You said, check out Emerald Robinson's tweet about the lady from Illinois who is apparently friends with Nancy Pelosi, who just happened to be in Nashville on vacation and showed up to talk to reporters at the school shooting scene, demanding a ban on guns. Yeah, we actually talked about it last night. She is... she says she's a survivor. She calls herself a survivor of the 4th of July mass shooting that transpired last week or last year. She's been very active. She actually just addressed members of Congress, I believe, in a committee meeting maybe last week or the week before to address gun control issues and gun control measures. As you can see, riot police are now pushing towards protesters. They have a lot of riot police there. I mean, can you imagine if we had that many riot police during the BLM protests and stuff like that? That would be kind of nutty, because that's a lot of people that are out there. A lot of police officers that are out there currently taking place. Someone said, can still remember the yellow vest when I went there in 2019 for a third time and that protester got his arm blown off by a flashbang or something like that. Was that in Paris? Was that in France that occurred? Also, body camera footage has been released by the Nashville Police Department. You got to applaud Nashville for how quickly they're handling all this and putting out all the information, which is really good. Nashville police have put out body camera footage, which we're not going to show. I did put it on my Twitter page. If you follow me on Twitter, it's at Steve Oatley. You should really follow me on Twitter, because that is where, I'll be honest, I've pretty much been the most active lately, is on Twitter, because it just seems like a better place to get a quick message out very quickly. So we put the body camera footage out there. Now, I still maintain it's far too long for 14 minutes to transpire from the time a 911 calls in about a shooter and before the shooter is neutralized. However, the video shows that even though it took him 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes to get on scene, the video shows those police officers did not miss, like, not a second was underutilized in their response to that shooting. So it was very good. Someone said press conference in Nashville right now. Really? Where? Let me see. Let me try to find that. We'll switch over to that one. Oh, crap. Right here. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for being here. Just a brief update of
Audio's
what we
off.
know right now. We've interviewed the parents of Audrey Hale, and we've determined that Audrey bought 7 firearms.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the beginning of this press conference. Bear with me 1 second. Let me update this title here. I'm going to say, let me do this one, duplicate, and then we're going to say, moments ago. All right, so let me put that out there. There you go.
Morning, starting about 30 seconds. And I'll update this afternoon as to what we know about the Covenant murders on yesterday. There's one rumor going on throughout the community that we want to take a moment to clear up. There are those who think that specific individuals were targeted by the shooter who entered the building on Monday. We have no evidence that individuals were specifically targeted. This school, this church building, was a target of the shooter, but we have no information at present to indicate that the shooter was specifically targeting any one of the 6 individuals who were murdered. Chief John Drake will now update you on the progress of the investigation overnight and this morning, including what we know about the individual's purchases of firearms over the past couple of years. Again, this will be a brief briefing today. Chief John Drake.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for being here. Just a brief update of what we know right now. We've interviewed the parents of Audrey Hale, and we've determined that Audrey bought 7 firearms from 5 different local gun stores here legally. They were legally purchased. 3 of those weapons were used yesterday during this horrific tragedy that happened. We know that they felt that she had 1 weapon and that she sold it. She was under care, doctor's care, for an emotional disorder. Law enforcement knew nothing about the treatment she was receiving, but her parents felt that she should not own weapons. They were under the impression that when she sold the 1 weapon that she did not own anymore. As it turned out, she had been hiding several weapons within the house. We also don't have a motive at this time. We feel that the students that were targeted were randomly targeted. There was not any particular student that she was looking for at the time of the incident. And that's what we know as I speak, and we'll take any questions that you have.
Can you give us any more details about that manifesto? What was the manifesto?
So in the manifesto, there's several different writings about other locations. There were locations, there was talks about the school. There was a map of the school, a drawing of how potentially she would enter and the assaults that would take place. It's quite a bit of writing to it. I have not read the entire manifesto. Our team and the FBI have been working on this.
Chief, can you clarify where exactly the victims were located? You mentioned the common area. Were they all together, the students and the adults at the same time? Where were they?
So they were spread out in different locations. When I went into the actual church, the kids had already been transported to the hospital. Also, the 2 of the adults, I did see the head school person, and she was in the hallway by the office. That's the only one. They were spread out. Wasn't in one common area, but they were spread out.
Chief, should the suspect have other plans in terms of targeting other buildings, other places?
There were some writings in the manifesto about other locations, but as far as it being an actual target, I can't confirm that at this time.
Chief, can we talk about your body cam footage? Do you feel like your
One at a
officers
time,
did
please.
everything
One at a
right?
time,
Sorry.
please.
Amber Walker with CNN. Just about the 6 victims who were killed. Where exactly were they? Were they walking through the hallways when this happened? And I also heard peripherally that perhaps the head of the school may have ran towards the shooter.
It's very possible the head of the school could have done that. I can't confirm that one way or the other. I do know she was in the hallway by herself. There was a confrontation. I'm sure you can tell the way she was laying in the hallway. There was the custodian, the African American, as she shot through the door to enter. She sprayed rounds through the glass, striking him. You could see where he came to rest. As far as the others, they were just spread out in different locations. I can't say it was a confrontation, but they were met. She met the head person in the hallway.
This man right here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Chief, you mentioned the guns, the multiple guns, and that the shooter was under the care of a doctor. Is there any law in this state that would have allowed police to take those guns away from this person had it been reported?
If it had been reported, there's not a law for that, but had it been reported that she was suicidal or that she was going to kill someone and had been made known to us, then we would have tried to get those weapons. But as it stands, we had absolutely no idea actually who this person was, if she even existed. So.
Chief, can you talk a little bit about the time?
What else did the parents say? Did they expect anything like this to happen?
So we know yesterday the Miss Hill was leaving out of the residence. She had a red bag. They asked her what was in the red bag, and I think she just dismissed it because it was a motherly thing, and didn't look in the bag because at the time she didn't know that her daughter had any weapons and didn't think any differently. Again, they lost a child, so it's very traumatic for them. So,
Chief, watching the body cam.
I think you were first.
Yeah.
So.
Could you talk about the police response? I know they engaged the shooter pretty quickly once they got to the school, but can you talk about the events that led up from when they got the call, what time did they arrive at the school, and could you talk about that time? Because it appears about maybe like 14 minutes or so.
Yeah, so they got the call at 10:13, and by 10:24 they had engaged the suspect. As they arrived on the property, there were police cars being hit by gunfire. The suspect was in an upper level. We believe there's been some training of being able to shoot from a higher level. And her gunfire, from the video I've seen, she stood away from the glass so she wouldn't be an easy target to be shot. But as officers were approaching the building, there was gunfire going on. They went in, they went through door by door as we clear buildings. They heard gunfire and immediately ran to that and then took care of this horrible situation.
And how long did it take officers to actually get to the school initially from when the first call came in?
From the time it went out from 10:13 to 10:24, it was over. The exact time, arrival time, I'm not sure. I know that myself, I ran emergency, and as I got there, they were coming out bloody and all kind of things were happening. So I barely missed being able or being there to go in as well. So it was really quick, the response. And I think you were next. So.
Yeah,
9 minutes.
I was going to ask you about the two officers whose body cam we've seen this morning. Had they ever been faced in a situation like that before?
To my knowledge, I do not remember if those two in particular have been in that situation. Officer Collazo, as a paramedic with the SWAT team, so I'm sure he's had some type of weapons training. I was really impressed that with all that was going on, the danger that somebody took control and said, let's go, and went in and took care and just try to end this situation. But as far as being in this before, I'm unsure. You, sir?
Sir, a friend of the families has reported, a friend of the Hale family has reportedly said that Audrey was autistic. Can you speak to that if you know if that's in fact true?
I can't confirm that. I've heard that, but I can't confirm if that's true or not.
Let's do one more question. One more question, and we're going to stop. One more.
Just on the officers, how are they faring today, 24 hours on?
Any indication of the significance of yesterday, why the shooter may have done this yesterday? And also, do you have anything that could indicate whether the school was targeted for religious reasons?
I can't confirm either. I'm not sure, but unsure right now if that was the reason why. And I think I'll take one more.
Yeah, just on your two officers there, how are they feeling today, 24 hours on?
So I talked to them earlier, and they're trying to decompress, trying to make sense of all of this. I talked to President Biden. He's going to reach out and talk to them as well. They're just trying to do whatever they can with their families and just kind of remove themselves from all of this. So.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Chief Drake, would you say the 14-minute response time from getting the call to arriving to the school, is that acceptable? Is that something you want to look back at and see if that was, that there could have been a quicker response time?
So I'll answer that. We evaluate each and every situation, and so one of my principles is we're always looking to be innovative and evolving to get better. And so we look at every single incident we have, and if there's a way to get better, we feel a response right now. From what I've seen, I don't have a particular problem with it, but we always want to get better. We always want to get there in 2 or 3 minutes. And so there's a lot of things that could have happened. Traffic was locked down, etc. But we're always looking to get better.
What do you
So,
tell
thank
scared
you.
kids, Chief?
The body camera footage was released. It's okay. You know, that's I you know what it is. You know how we do. Back to the old one. Obviously, I'm using the other software. So yeah, everyone who's been watching for a long time, you know I consistently and constantly mute myself. So you're fine. But yeah, it's that what I was saying is I wish that the people that are like trying to shut everybody up, you know, that the one guy there that was trying to end the press conference, I wish they didn't do that. I wish they allowed for more questions right away. You heard that there were several questions that all have to do with the response time, which is something that I'm curious about. Now I know I know why the response time is what it is. I think a big part of the response time has to do with the fact that Nashville police are short 180 officers. It's a thankless job, and it's getting worse, you know? But yeah, I did think it was interesting too. We learned today that President Biden called and spoke to the Nashville police chief this morning. That was surprising. I don't believe he's called and spoke to anybody in the train derailments or anything like that. But it's oh god. Like, I would love to be able to keep politics out of this. I don't know. We also learned that she was actively seeking counseling for depression, which means that, you know, this monster should never have been able to own guns. See, but then it gets hairy because, okay, where do you go from this? Because again, anything can be abused. And that's why a lot of conservatives are hesitant on pushing gun control measures because they can be abused. Right? If you get one bad doctor who says you're a risk and then they take it. You know what I mean? And she should have never had guns, man. She should have never had guns. And you know, just as a society, we have to do better than what we're doing currently because we are just literally watching our people die. Kids die. And it's not just it's all over the place. It's all over the place. You know, and it just, I don't know. I just find it frustrating. Wow. And we also are, I'm watching the protests in Paris, and that is pretty crazy right now. Wrong feed. Where is it? This one? Yeah. So there's protests currently taking place in Paris as well. As you can see right there on your screen, press the wrong button there. Bada bing. Bada boom. This is live in Paris, France. This is about pension reform. The riot squad just ran again. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of like deflated when it comes to talking about this stuff because I don't know. I really don't know. Like, how do you? I was saying this before because I truly don't know how to fix this. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how we say, okay, enough is enough. You can't. To learn that she bought 7 guns, her parents didn't know she had guns in the house. You know, I don't know what you do. I don't know. Someone said in Paris they protest like this every month. Yeah, I mean these are quite common in Paris. If you didn't know, this is currently live in Paris, France, in Paris. Rioters are protesting for the 10th consecutive day about pension reform from President Macron. He basically is raising the age of retirement from 62 to 64, which obviously a lot of the unions are quite, pissed off about. So a lot of these protesters, granted, you have the anarchists and stuff that you typically have in Paris, but you also have a lot of union members. Not necessarily now. Those union members may have gone home, and these could just be the anarchists that are starting fires and doing what they're doing. But this is live currently in Paris, and it keeps flipping back and forth. There are multiple cameras. Is that a Molotov cocktail that guy has right there, or just water? I don't know. See, as you can see, they're all running away because the cops are coming. People are throwing bottles. Here comes the police. Look, they put that little person down on the ground. Now they're helping him up. That was nice of them. They tackle him, throw him to the ground, and then they're like, okay, give me your hand. I'll help you. And then, but see, this is crazy, though. I've noticed Paris is a little bit different when they protest because these protesters, these rioters, let's not call them protesters, these rioters, like the girl there you see throwing, I assume it's a girl, the girl that you see throwing rocks and stuff, they literally push the police back. And then the police come and push them. And then they push the police back again. And it keeps going on and on. It's really crazy. But someone said your son is a deputy. He said in their investigation at Antifa is that 65% of them say they're trans. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. That's one of the things I said yesterday is I wish social media didn't scrub the identities of some of these shooters because, and I know why they do it. They do it because they're allowed to put forth whatever garbage, whatever commentary they want about it, right? And so that's why they push, that's why they erase all the narrative or they erase all the social media because then, and social media does it under the guise that they don't want to radicalize others, right? But I feel like the only way we're going to actually conquer anything in this country in terms of ending the senseless violence that does take place here in the United States, the only way we're going to be able to do that is by focusing on what is currently transpiring. That's it. That's my belief. And I don't think a lot of people feel the same way anymore, unfortunately. I think it's all about partisan politics. I don't really even feel like, and you see it, like David Pakman. David Pakman is someone that goes online and he makes all these videos about Trump pretty much 24/7. He's not a Trump fan. He covers all the Trump rallies and just, provides his leftist spin. He made one of the, like he's a huge YouTube account, 1.7 million followers, millions of followers on social media. And then he's out here talking about, I thought you said, hopes and prayers would fix everything. Like just mocking the death of these kids. And then he goes on to play the victims. He goes on to play the victim because he apparently says he received death threats via email. And so he wrote that he deleted the tweet because he was getting death threats and anti-Semitic comments to his email. Not on social media, mind you. I don't know. It's just frustrating. And like I said yesterday, I don't have an answer to try to fix this whole thing. I really don't. So I don't know how we fix this. I don't know how we draw attention to it. I don't believe that red flag laws are the answer because they'll be abused. And that's the truth. And they already are. In some of the states that have red flag laws already in place, it's already abused. You know what I mean? It's already being abused. But then again, this person should have been disqualified from owning a firearm because they were seeking help for depression and suicidal ideology and stuff like that. So what do you do? Like, does anyone have like any sort of inclination? Like, to be honest, does anybody have an idea what you could possibly do? Because I don't know. Short of doing that, how do you fix anything? Do you know what I mean? How do you? I really don't know. It's interesting when you think about it. It's not liberal. It's not conservative. I mean, you can say banning rifles, but that doesn't actually do anything because 72% of all mass shootings are not committed with rifles. In fact, only 12% are. It's just nutty when you think about it. You know what I mean? It's nutty. It's nutty that we can't figure out how to fix it. You know what I mean? Someone said maybe like a DOT pass the test. Yeah, I mean, I believe that that should be a requirement for adulthood. I've said that before. I think as an adult, when you turn 18, as part of your moving out of your parents' house and becoming an adult, you should have to take a gun safety course. It should be required, you know? And you should be issued a gun as part of, you know, your Americanness. You know, because I do believe, you know, the Second Amendment is one of the most important amendments that we have. But what do you do? Matthew Lambert said depression should not be a reason to take away someone's firearms. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. If you're depressed and suicidal, yes, 100%. You should not be able to own a firearm with 100% certainty. And I know a lot of people suffer with depression, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that if you suffer with depression and you are suicidal, or you're certainly homicidal, you should not own a gun. You should not be allowed to own a gun. But again, how do you stop that? How do you know what? How do you limit it? I really don't know. You know, it's not. You could say, well, you know, removing AR-15s from the equation or assault-style rifles. You could say that that is going to save lives. But do you know more people are killed with vehicle-borne attacks in the United States each year than mass shootings with AR-15s? It's true. Or more people are killed by vehicles, deliberately killed via vehicles than there are by AR-15. Should we remove all remove all vehicles now? Because some people have ruined it? That's what I'm saying. If you really want to save lives, should we remove teen drivers, 16, 17, 18-year-olds? Because they kill more people than mass shootings combined, all mass shootings. 16, 17, 18-year-olds behind the wheel of vehicles kill more people than all of the mass shootings every single year. But how do you do it? Like, if it's really about saving lives, what is an actual way to do it? You know? And that's what I don't understand. You know, I don't believe removing people's rights from owning an AR-15 is a way to stop the senseless violence just because of facts, not because of anything else, because of facts. Janine said, as a mentally ill person, I do not believe I should be allowed to have a guns in a home. I've never even tried to get one. Yeah. And a lot of people feel that way because it is, and I mean, I know someone that's mentally ill that suffers from depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. And that person voluntarily gave their firearm to a family member, voluntarily, and said, I shouldn't have this gun, and voluntarily gave it over because they ultimately knew, you know? And that's the truth. I don't know, man. So, you know, Brandy Miller said licensed teachers with firearms. There was a school, I think, in Indiana that had amazing measures in place for this kind of scenario. Yeah, a lot of places do. A lot of places do allow. It's called guardians, right? I believe, where they'll have teachers, select teachers that are armed. And it doesn't happen everywhere. But then again, you also have select teachers. All teachers have to go through, you know, FBI background checks and all that stuff too. Just in case you didn't know. But yet we still, just in our county alone, in the school district where my wife works, there's been 2 teachers arrested for sexual shit with students. Middle schools. Well, one was a high school. And one was a female middle school gym teacher. It's in the news now, so I could talk about it. A female middle school gym teacher. It's just weird, man. It's weird. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how. I just don't believe any of the responses that we're hearing in the media are ways to actually fix anything. You know what I mean? I truly don't. I don't believe that removing AR-15s is going to stop it. I don't believe that. I mean, criminal background checks you would think would make more sense, or you know, enhanced background checks, but. How do you do that? And how do you not abuse that system? Because if there was a concrete way to support, you know, enhanced background checks, I think most people would agree. I agree with the concept of enhanced background checks. I just can't support them because I know it could be abused. You know, my personal, and I have more drastic beliefs. I don't believe that if you've ever been convicted of a domestic abuse charge, even a misdemeanor, you should ever be able to own a firearm. And you may not be allowed to. I don't know. You know, someone said they do not want to fix it, they want to ban. Yeah, that's true. You know, that's true. Someone said, dude, 2 at my school. This is a small school. Yeah, I mean, but I was just pointing out the fact that, you know, some teachers aren't safe even to be around kids either. You know, like I said, 2 teachers in my school district, in the school district where my kids go, not their school, but two teachers, a substitute or a teacher's aide, you know, a male teacher's aide had relations with a high school student. And then a gym teacher in a middle school had relations with a 12-year-old in middle school. It's just so weird. So I really don't know. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you fix it. Scott said, just putting together my show tonight, Trans Terror, for the Rhino conspiracy. Where's the Rhino conspiracy? I didn't even know you had a show going on. Yeah. Someone said, when insurance companies combine the coverage for your whole body, then maybe mental illness will be but diagnosed. Yeah. Well, isn't mental illness already diagnosed? Like, but you have to see it out, right? Or so, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't have an answer. I really don't. As much as I would love to, as much as I would love to find some simple solution, we can't agree on red flag laws because, well, they want to we already know it's being abused and they don't work. Again, for red flag laws, everyone that wants to advocate for red flag laws, look at Buffalo. Someone's on my roof and it's confusing me because I hear footsteps and there's nothing but sky above me. Well, besides the roof, but someone's walking on it. You know what I mean? Red flag laws have already been abused, and when they are in place, like New York, the Buffalo shooter, he should have been disqualified from owning a firearm. He met their tier to be disqualified from owning a firearm, except the police didn't do their job. They didn't do their job, and he was able to go buy a gun and then went into the supermarket and shot all those people. Simple as that. Karen said, my question is, why are they leaving doors in schools open, whether it's a front door or back door? They should all be locked. Again, Karen, so what does that have to do with this scenario? Because you do know that the school doors were locked. It was initially reported that the side door was open, but that's false. The person literally shot through the front door. There's video of it. That's how they gained entry. And then when the police tried to get entry, they had to get a key to be able to enter the building. And that's why, you know, that was the only delay, and the guy was literally right there with the key. We're talking seconds. Karen said, I've heard the side door was open. That's why I haven't heard anything different. She shot through the door. The side door was not open. You heard what Fox News was reporting, and Fox News was reporting it incorrectly. Now we know where you watch it. Now we know where you get your news. Fox News is not honest either, so don't watch them. But Scott said, I have an idea. Let's use hundreds of billions of dollars on bulletproof glass instead of Ukraine. Yeah, that too. We could do that as well, but we're likely not going to be able to do that either. I don't know. And the sad part is we shouldn't even have to do that. We shouldn't be fortifying our schools. There should be no need to do it. We should get to the bottom of why this stuff is happening. But again, we're never going to get to the bottom of why stuff's happening because they're only addressing certain issues. I mean, think about it. How many school shootings have there been this year so far? I bet none of you guys actually know. School shootings that take place on actual school property. How many shootings have there been so far? Because we only highlight these big ones like this. There's been 80. There's been 80 different school-related shootings, whether it's sporting events at football games, whether it's shootings on school property. 80. It's insane. It is almost every day. You know? And it just shows that so many people, and the majority, you're not going to hear about the majority of them because the majority of them are inner city. Like, I think Philly has had like 20 different school-related shootings. Shootings at school, shootings in front of school, shootings during school on the streets outside, kids getting shot, parents getting scared. It's insane. It's insane. And media doesn't cover it because it doesn't fit a particular narrative. It doesn't fit a particular narrative. We showed it last night. And the reporting body that actually covers that, the reporting body actually said that, listen, we include gang-related shootings. We include all that. And you know what their rationale for it is? Because it involves schools. It involves school children. It's freaking insane, dude. They said, no, mainstream media doesn't account for all of them. Philly's the best example. They literally are having a shooting at or near a school during school hours, right after school. Schools going into lockdowns virtually every week. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. By the way, we're doing a giveaway today. If you buy, or if you send a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, the link's in the description. What we're doing is at 5 o'clock, you have until 5 to do it. At 8 o'clock, I'm going to go live. We're going to do a giveaway for a 55-inch flat screen smart TV. But then we are also going to donate half of the total revenue. So half of the total that we make earlier today, it was at like $435 was the donation amount. But we're going to be donating to the Covenant School, that directly to the school. That is the school where this shooting took place. So as of right now, we're over $435 that we're donating so far. But and that's half of the revenue, not half of the profit. It's just half of the revenue. So if you want a chance to win, for every dollar you send via Cash App, every dollar you send via Venmo, every dollar you send via PayPal is one entry. So you send $10, that's 10 entries. $100, 100 entries, and then we're going to be doing that giveaway and that donation. I'll make the donation live too, just in case people want to complain. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. Someone said, that's crazy, a 28-year-old targeting a school. Yeah, it is. I don't see the link in the chat, so let me put it in there. There's the donate, I think, if I did it right, but it's there. So, and we'll be doing that donation live too, and the TV giveaway. But that's why I have to shut it down at 5 o'clock, because then I have to tally everything up and multiply it by what your contribution is. So like I said, if you do $1, that's one entry. You do $10, 10 entries, $100, 100 entries. And like I said yesterday, someone wants to do 10 grand, I'll just give you 5 TVs. You don't even need to do that. But anyway, it looks like the Paris riot has kind of chilled out for a little bit. I'm not ending the feed. We are going to go back to that for a little bit, and I'm just going to leave it on that, and then I'll come back when there's something worth it, worth coming back on. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be here, but not here, if you know what I'm saying. This is Paris currently. There are riot police everywhere, and fires and all that good stuff. Well, they also, here's one other thing too, because I see you guys saying the police chief during that last message, or during his last press conference, he also revealed that when they were shooting, when the trans monster was shooting through the glass door, that is when it looks like the Paris feed just died, but that is when a custodian was shot and killed. That he was apparently right by the door, and when she was shooting, or when the monster was shooting through the glass door to gain entry to the school, that's when he was killed, apparently. And then later on, they caught the woman, Dr. Catherine Kuntz. They caught her in the hallway, or the monster shot her and killed her as well. But someone said, when tyranny becomes law, civil disobedience becomes duty. Thomas Jefferson, bless France. But yeah. What is that? I just got some message. Yeah, Yeah, it looks like Paris just ended too. Let me see if there are any other live streams. Oh, it just says further coverage is expected. They're probably changing their batteries. Here's another feed. So we'll just check this one out. But I'll be back in a little bit. I'm just going to leave this up so we can see what's actually happening. This is in Paris currently. And you can see the police. The police are over here in this corner. They were trying to break into this building right here earlier. And there were a ton of cops inside that building too. Yeah, they're protesting the retirement age. That's why they are protesting. If you guys want an update on this, I'll give you a little bit of background about what they're out here doing. This is according to the Washington Post has a timeline going on of this thing. Washington Post is heavily biased, but which is funny. Anyway, it said in the face of public uproar, French President Emmanuel Macron has doubled down on the pension legislation as the only viable way to ensure the future of France's pension system, in part to reflect rising life expectancy and balance of the country's finances. The plan would raise the minimum retirement age by 2 years, so most people will need to be at least 64 and have made certain social security contributions before they can receive a full pension, with the exception for some, such as those with physically taxing jobs. The main Paris rally appears to be growing more tense as evening approaches, because currently it is what? 8:02 p.m. in Paris. While many continue to chant peacefully around the Léon Blum Square, which I'm assuming is this spot, it doesn't look peaceful now because underneath my head here, fire is going. You guys see the fire trucks. There's riot police surrounding this whole area. But it's funny, Washington Post calls it peaceful. French officials have said about 93,000 people have protested in Paris today. Union representatives estimate the number to be more than 4 times higher than that. There are quite a lot of people. There were a lot more people earlier, it seems. The people were out there with their kids. I mean, as soon as I got into the office today, they were still out here they were out here protesting already and marching. And it started going haywire pretty quick. You know, when they started marching, windows started getting smashed out and things like that from the beginning. But someone said, honestly, they can go after themselves 2 more years of work. Yeah, I think, isn't retirement age here in America, isn't it 65 pretty much across the board? You know, it's crazy. But a lot of people are saying, hey, listen, we already worked for this. We already contributed. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't know. Is France one of those countries where they just pay everybody a livable wage or a pension when they get to 65 or 62 is what it was there? There's no way. Like 62, I should still be able to like move around and stuff when I'm 62. You know, granted, that's how old am I? 38. So that's a long time from now. But and a lot, you know, I could barely move right now because I worked out my back yesterday and I'm all sore. Here's what you should never do. Never do a back workout where you're deadlifting after you've been in a car for 4 days. It's incredibly stupid. Feels really good to be able to lift a lot, but nope. You feel it the next day drastically, which is what is going on with my back. It used to be 65, now it's 67, said Timothy. Jeez, really? 55 for first responders, 65 currently, but will likely go up to 67 in the United States. I think my wife has another 20 plus years. I think she has to do 30 years as a teacher. Or 25. 25 or 30. I want to just say it's 30. So she's going to be right around that 65 age before because she's younger than me. So she's going to be right around that 65 range when she has to retire. A little bit younger. You know, for her to get her pension. And I don't know, can you get, like, say you retire when you're 50, but you've worked for 30 years in the same field. Can you still get your pension, but you just don't get Social Security and all that shit from the government? If it's still existence when we're kids. I don't know. I don't know how it all works. It's something that I never really think about, to be honest, because I think Social Security is not going to exist by the time I'm old enough to use it. I remember years and years ago, right after I filed the taxes the first time, I ended up, this is before I was even with my wife, I got something that said, hey, your Social Security benefit right now, if you were to retire when you're older, is like $1,200 a month or something like that. And I'm like, damn, just give it to me now or I'll retire. As you can see, riot police are pushing in on these protesters. I would just, like, if I could just retire right now, I would. This job, sitting here at the desk every day, is very taxing. Someone said, just get your stand down and fall in line. Just one more perspective. Jim said, I retired at 55 with a full pension after 34 years. Yeah, so here's a question that I don't know too. If you have a full pension, right? And say you're lucky like Jim and you retire after 35 years when you're still young, 55. Can you work another, like, say there was a 20-year job and to do the pension and then collect 2 pensions? I don't know. Not that it matters, but sometimes I wish I had one of those very basic jobs, but I just don't like working for other people. Timothy said your Social Security eligibility was 66. You were born in 1955. Depends on birth year, does it? Jim said yes, double dip. No shit. You can collect 2 pensions. Well, I guess because you earn it, right? But you can't collect 2 Social Securities, right? What if you were, right? So, like, there's another one, because if you can't collect Social Security until you're 65 or 67 or whatever it is, if you work for, say 30 years, you retire from that one job, you have a pension, you go and get another full-time job and you work for another 20 years, so you retire when you're 70 years old, does the Social Security keep adding up? Because you still pay Social Security, don't you? I don't know. I don't know how any of that stuff works, to be honest. It's not something I really think about at this point. Looks like riot police are throwing tear gas into the middle there. You could see that in the crowd right there. Looks like that's tear gas. You get only one Social Security. Gotcha. Jim said you're not eligible for Social Security. I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes, like when I just looked at my wife or my wife's pension because she lost money last year, she didn't lose. She didn't make any money. Well, she did, because it's the same amount. She has the same amount in her pension or her retirement, whatever, that she did at the beginning of the school year. That literally the same amount. So she did lose money because she still contributed. You know what I mean? I don't know. Someone said you can have dual pension, but most likely won't be eligible for Social Security if you make too much and not a government worker. Yeah. Brian said, not rushing you, but can you tell me when the coffee order will go out? Yeah, probably tomorrow. I'm waiting on coffee boxes. I ran out of the packing boxes. So once I get those, either tomorrow or Thursday, we'll go out. But the Awake Not Woke, I did get all the cans and the can steamer and all that stuff. It's actually in my car. I didn't bring it in because there were people in the office when I came back. But I'm going to start trying to do that. But absolutely, when you got one choice, you would absolutely have to rely on God. Truly is providing our needs. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. I was having that conversation with my wife. I'm like, maybe I should just go work some job, some public service job or something like that. Do all the shows and all the coffee stuff on the side. Just get a 7 to 3 or whatever job that I hate and am miserable at, just so I could get a pension. You know what I mean? Just so we have some sort of retirement in the next 20 years. Because I could still do the videos. I could still, and it won't cost me anything. In fact, I'd just make more money. You know, it would just change the schedule of doing stuff. As you can see, riot police are pushing in again. And well, actually, you don't even see the riot police. You just see the protesters. It's very eerily similar to what we saw in Portland, Oregon last year. Because that's what would happen in Portland. The rioters would push towards the police. Police would push towards the rioters. They go back and forth. Nana said, if you have dual pensions, then when able to apply for Social Security, they have the Windfall Act to reduce the Social Security payment even though you have put into it. That's bullshit. Becky said you'd make an awesome teacher. Oh, yeah, okay. My wife says I should just go sub. My wife has been telling me that for a while. I should just go become a substitute. Because for one, they need them. You make, decent money. There's no pension or nothing like that. But I could just literally do that. And she said I would probably work full time. And I could still do all the videos and all that stuff. You know? Can you imagine me becoming a substitute teacher? Dealing with kids all day? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Eden's Vision said, we love you, enjoy you every day. Sincerely pray that God provides you and your family the means to keep you with us. Yeah, I mean, it's not about like the now. That's what I was saying. Like, it's not about right now. It's about the future. You know what I mean? Shirley said, when are the Patriot as F subscription bundles going out? This week, waiting on ammo cans as well. But I noticed, just like everything else, someone said, don't you have to have a vaccine to work as a teacher? No, you don't. I know you don't. Last year, teachers had the option of getting it. And if you caught COVID, if you didn't have it and you caught COVID, you would have to burn your sick days. Whereas my wife, if she was to catch COVID because she provided proof of vaccination, she wouldn't have had to burn her sick days. Does that make sense? I think so. Someone said, postal worker, LOL. Our mailman is on his last legs. Hardly an easy job. He wears every type of copper fit wear that is holding the poor guy together. Yeah, but then our postal worker here is the fittest dude ever. He's like 76 years old. He runs up the stairs. He runs across the streets and all that stuff, and he's old. And then I had an artist come in here for coffee a couple of weeks ago. And dude, he said he was like 78 years old. And I was like, you're not 78. I didn't believe it. But yeah. The bug out bags are not going out until at least April 1st. Still working on them. I just got the can and the can steamer today. Now I have to wait for the labels so I can put the labels on the can. And then I have to wait for the coffee so I can package all the Wake Up America specialty cans. So they're all going out. But that's not what this show is about, because I literally get so much hate mail when people ask about that stuff and when I address it. I'm literally trying not to talk too much about coffee anymore because people get annoyed. You know, my goal is just to eventually, my goal is to get through what we got to get through right now, and then just start buying smaller coffee makers, put them in stores and do that. And then that's it. Someone said, no, Social Security is based on you when you start it and your income. It has a cap on the most you can get no matter how much you put in. Yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, because even if I got and I thought about that. I was talking about it with my wife the other day, just doing the getting some regular, job, public works or something like that, logistics for a government. Because I would just have a pension and I could probably tolerate the job And it's not necessarily about money. It's more of about trying to make sure I have a pension. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But then again, I like the teacher salary that she has because she has the whole summer off. Oh, look at the riot police coming in. They came in force there. They came barreling in, and then they stop. And then, but see, this is a crazy part because then they back up, and then there's all the rioters right behind them too. This is live in Paris right now, just in case you didn't know. That is what's currently going on, and you can hear audio. I'll shut up for a minute. We'll watch this. I'll get myself off the screen. Hold on, something happened. You're not hearing the audio. Why? Wait, so how do you guys hear the press conference then? Did you guys hear the press conference when that was on, but now you're not hearing this audio? That doesn't make any sense. Or are you hearing it because it's being picked up? I don't get it. Right, but when I just muted it, tell me right now if you can hear the audio. I know what it is. It's being broadcast as one channel audio. So it's not picking it up. Hold on. That's not something typically I can control. Let me see if these other feeds are back up though. Because if the other feeds are, which they are, that audio should be fixed. Well, actually, they just froze. Let me refresh. Let me go back here. All the feeds just froze. What the fuck? They all just froze, every single one of them. They're like, no, we don't want to show Steve what's going on. Every single media feed, because everyone in the media business, everyone uses a pool feed, right? So every single feed of the whole thing, everybody uses a pool feed. We're all getting the same feed, and they all just froze. Just all at once. They'll fix it here in a second, but all media companies use the same feed. That's why when one freezes, they all freeze, which is kind of funny. Here's a local channel. All right, here's probably the real channel that's broadcasting it and then feeding it to the media feed. Yeah, and I just verified you guys can hear this, so good.
Reculez s'il vous plaît. Madame, reculez s'il vous plaît. Monsieur, faites attention au projectile. Madame, reculez, faites attention. Madame, reculez s'il vous plaît, merci. Reculez s'il vous plaît. Madame, reculez s'il vous plaît, merci.
As we're watching this, if you guys want a chance to win a 55-inch flat screen smart TV, all you got to do is send a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Cash App is Freight Broker Live or a Venmo at Steve Oatley. Send a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. You have one entry for every dollar you send. So you do $10, you got 10 entries, 20 entries, $100, 100 entries, etc., etc. At 5 o'clock, we're going to stop accepting entries. And at 8 o'clock, when I do my evening show tonight, we will do the drawing for one TV. And then we're donating 50% of the total number that we bring in. Right at when I checked earlier, it was right around $435. We are donating that to the Covenant School, which is the school that had the mass shooting yesterday. So we will be making a donation directly to that school of the 50% of the total that we are able to raise. So if you want to do that, you're also donating, plus you're helping my show, plus you're possibly winning a TV, plus you're also donating to a charity as well. That would be super cool. So you could do that via the links in your chat right there, April said. Someone said you're boycotting PayPal. Well, good, because you don't need to use PayPal. You could also use Venmo or Cash App. Just saying. I don't have the Run song. I should get it. Let me find it.
Run. Run.
It's not that hard, so let me try to get it. And then I gotta put it on the Roadcaster. Hold on. Hold on with me. I gotta. All right, we'll take that one off. Hold on. Sorry, bear. All right. Now can you hear it? I think you can. Unless I just screwed up everything. I may have just screwed up. No, you can still hear me. This audio is gone though. There we go. So now when they run, I've got it queued up. she's messed up. Hold on, I want to try something. Shit, I just realized. If I was trying to listen to it, but I accidentally, I can't shut it off. It said Chinese rap. It sounded funny. So I wanted to play it.
What the dog doing?
What's the dog doing?
Kibber!
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
That's too much. My bad. They're still going. That was a long one. I've got it queued up, so the next time they run, I can play the run music. I forgot what other buttons I had back then. What was the one where the guy yelled? It's like, you can't handle something. I don't remember what it was. There was one that it was like, you can't, no, it wasn't you can't handle the truth. Oh man, what was that one? That was one of the best buttons. We used to have that, and I used to play it all the time. It wasn't you can't handle the truth. They're just dancing in the middle of a riot. It's so weird because they're like, the cops just, they run and then they stop and then they run and then they stop. And now they're having a dance party. Oh, that's what it is. You picked the wrong house, fool. That's what it was. This one.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Hey, hey, Big Smoke!
No, but that's the whole thing. Hold on. Let me try to find the right one.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
That. Remember, I do that and then this.
Run.
Like back to back. You guys remember that too. There was a couple of them. There was a couple of good ones that I used to cover when we did the riots. You've always liked the goats. I want to see. What was the Jim Carrey one? I don't remember what that one was. The Jim Carrey one. Wasn't it a Jim Carrey one? It was, oh God, it was the person on the sidewalk. The like woke kid. The woke kid on the sidewalk. What does he say? It was the fat kid. What's he say? Oh, that was a good one. What does that person say? Oh, was it? I don't think it was Ace Ventura. Alrighty then. Yeah. I'm never going to be able to find that one again. Was it alrighty then? We didn't do anything. That's gonna leave a mark. You guys are just writing stuff. Jim Carrey was a chick having a meltdown. Yeah, I don't know what the video was to look it up though, unfortunately. So anyway, this is Paris, France. Currently, there's a riot taking place. It doesn't even look like a riot. Paris does it differently. They're just being weird about it. Where he knocks over the mailbox or trash can. Yeah, I don't remember what they say though. That was a funny one. Or just goats in general. Those are funny too. Someone said Beast, it's because Macron stole the pensions, etc. from people against the parliament. He's trying to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64 is what it is. I don't know if he's stealing it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. We didn't do anything. Yeah. Does Paris use the fire hoses?
quitte la place, on quitte la place, personne ne reste. Allez, 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 restez pas là, mesdemoiselles, partez. Allez, hop, allez, debout, allez. Monsieur, quitte la place, mesdames, là, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît, monsieur, allez, s'il vous plaît, monsieur, allez. Avancez, monsieur, dames. La sortie, tout le monde pareil, Église, on est...
Real quick, so I just took a moment to go on Twitter and just see what some of the lefty batshit crazy folks were saying. And I'm not surprised by what they're projecting, because it is the same thing that you would suspect from the crazy ass left. The left they're literally leaving out. We all watched that press conference. You know what was actually said during that press conference. You got someone named Paul Sperry, huge account, senior reporter for Real Clear Investigations, and a New York Post columnist, that wrote, breaking: parents of school shooter Audrey Elizabeth Hale knew she bought at least one weapon while under psychiatric care and living under their roof at age 28, and knew she was hiding something in a red bag but didn't investigate. Turns out she stockpiled 7 weapons. That is not at all what was said during that press conference. What was said during that press conference is they knew that this monster purchased at least one gun. They believed that that gun was sold because they did sell the gun, and they did not know what was in a red bag, and they didn't suspect it was a gun because they were under the impression that this monster didn't have any guns. That is what we heard from the press conference. The left and the right is now putting forth a narrative that is inconsistent with the truth, with the facts. That, oh God, it pisses me off so much when they do this. It really does. It pisses me off so much, because now they're going to try to push whatever agenda they could possibly push. You know, that reporter wrote that, Mike something. I just tweeted at another one, Mike Davis. He wrote something very similar to it, even though he knows it's false. Mike Davis, who is a former chief counsel for nominations, U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary, law clerk, blah, 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 100,000 followers. This is how misinformation is spread on social media. Let me try to find Mike Davis's tweet. It was very much of the same. It was very much of the same. I think it may have been in the other category. Hold on. Replies. It's hard to find some of these sometimes. Yeah, I can't find it now. Again, it's just misinformation. People shouldn't be, spreading misinformation. I can't find his tweet, but I commented on that too. Why aren't you relaying the entire truth? That's the truth. Like, people need to report the truth, and especially in scenarios like this, because now what they're trying to do is vilify the parents. They're trying to say that the parents were bad when the parents were under the assumption that she had no guns. And that was made very clear by the press conference. Now, they may walk that back again. They've done that several times so far during press conferences. But I don't know. Someone said, you don't give a F about your pension while the Western world is crumbling. Well, we cover, whoever wrote that, hypocrisy sucks. You've been here a long time. We cover whatever I want to cover. It's what I want to cover, not what you want to watch. And because you don't have to watch this. I have to stream it because, well, I don't have to, but you know what I'm saying. It's literally, I control what we talk about or watch here, because we can't talk about everything else. Does that make sense? Didn't come out the way I wanted, but I think you've been here. You've been here for a long time. That made me really sound like an asshole, but I wasn't trying to be. I actually said it much nicer in my head, but then when I said it out loud, I was like, fuck, that didn't come out the way it was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Ay, ay, ay. Someone said interview the interviewer. Yeah. Yeah. All right, what else? So it's nighttime there in Paris now. I just saw that on Twitter, and I was like, what the hell? So someone said it's okay. I like watching even though they are dumb. Yeah, they are. They are dumb. But people are just posting that on Twitter. And I knew it was going to be out there. We're going to have so many different variations of the truth over the next couple of days. Brian Krasenstein, who's a fucking moron. I don't even know who he is. But I've been seeing his tweets for a couple of days. And then Kate actually sent me his tweet earlier. He said, oftentimes in political fallout in the days following a mass shooting, it's heroes like the Nashville PD officers Rex Engelbert and Michael Collazo, pictured below, who do not get enough credit. Regardless of your political stance on guns and political stance on the mass shooting epidemic in America, there's no doubt that the actions of these two officers saved countless lives. These men put their lives on the line to save others and did so in a professional and heroic manner. Why can't we all work together, police, schools, gun control activists, and mental health experts, to come up with sensible solutions that protect our children? Wow, was that the only logical tweet I've ever seen from this fucking dude? I think it was. I actually think it was. I thought it was going to be something different. I read that live thinking that it was going to be one of his, I agree with that tweet. I think we all need to work together, to figure out a way to curb this. I also agree. Yeah. So Mike Davis's tweet said, Fox News just reported this from Nashville chief of police. The shooter's parents knew she was being treated for serious mental health issue. Her parents knew she had firearms, but her parents didn't report this to the police. And I was like, but you forgot to mention also the parents believed that the monster sold all the guns and did not think she had any guns in her possession. It was literally in the same press conference. Why is it so hard to report the truth? I never understood that, because any major incident, people always put out bullshit and try to pass bullshit as truth. I've never understood that. I truly, it's quite puzzling. It's quite puzzling. And it's sad. Twitter is sad because it just shows all the, I don't know. And people are getting banned because there was a tweet. I saw it posted yesterday. I don't retweet things like that. It was basically the Trans Day of Vengeance that was being posted out April 1st, 11 a.m., assemble at the SCOTUS. I know some of you guys have sent this to me as well. I don't retweet things like this because I don't want to give it any publicity. But a lot of people yesterday did tweet this out. And, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, the United States Congresswoman from Georgia. She tweeted it out. And of course, Twitter today decided to block anybody who retweeted it as hate speech, but left up the original comment or left up the original one in the account that's posted online, which is very peculiar. It really is very peculiar. Marjorie Taylor Greene said Antifa is organizing a Trans Day of Vengeance right after a trans killed people, including children, at an elementary school in mass shooting. Does everyone understand that Antifa is an organized, funded terrorist group that brings violence and terror for every cause? And then she posted the picture of Z, and you guys may have seen it. Matter of fact, why don't I just do this to make it a little bit easier so you know what I'm talking about? Many of you guys probably saw this yesterday. Hold on. This tweet yesterday, right? I'll change this overlay too so that makes sense. Many of you guys probably saw this. This was posted all over social media. Some big accounts have gotten suspended for this. Literally, for reposting this. Big accounts. Marjorie Taylor Greene said she was trying to expose this in her original tweet, which she was forced to delete by Twitter. And again, everyone was like, Twitter's going to save the world. Nope. They're even worse now, I believe, because now they're just censoring across the board. But she wrote yesterday, March 28th at 5:30 a.m., actually this morning, she wrote, Antifa is organizing a Trans Day of Vengeance right after a trans killed people, including children, at a Christian elementary school in a mass shooting. Does everyone understand that Antifa is organized and a funded terrorist group that brings violence and terror to every cause? Which is 100% true. It's 100% true. Someone said go to it. Go to what? What are you talking about? Someone said the summer is going to be a hoot. No, it's not, because here's the truth: is no matter how much publicity they want from it, I saw a Reddit where someone's like, please don't let this actually be a female to male this was posted on Reddit, and literally said, with that, we are done. Because now they know that this whole movement, all this sympathy that they garnish from the left, that it's going to be done. It's going to be done. People are going to start waking up and saying, hey, this shit ain't normal. I know they're trying to make it normal. My wife was trying to argue about it with me last night. and I didn't really understand her perspective. She was essentially saying that I mean, my wife's still liberal for anyone that doesn't know, but she was trying to say that I can't even put it because it didn't make any fucking sense when she said it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Someone said April 1st is April Fool's, LMAO, yeah. Um, uh, Someone said Abdul said it. I don't know what you're talking about. I forgot what I was going to say. Something about her idea of, she said gender, or not, yeah, she said gender is a social construct. That's what my wife said. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, to be honest. She's like, I know you're not going to agree and you're just going to get mad. And I'm like, no, dear, go ahead. You know, while we're eating dinner. I'm like, please explain. She's like, gender is a social construct. She's like, why is it only women that wear dresses? And I'm like, what? She's like, why is it women? Why is it only acceptable that women wear dresses? I'm like, because guys don't wear dresses unless they, are not. And she's like, well, so why? And I'm like, because it's not socially acceptable. And she's like, see, it's a social construct. So a man can be a woman. I'm like, you don't even believe this. I swear sometimes she argues with me just to like have the conflict. You know what I mean? And then she tells me I should go be a substitute teacher. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? But here's the thing. If I was a substitute teacher, I would get to wear my suit. The one suit I own that I bought for the wedding. That's because I'd be the most well-dressed substitute teacher. But no, I'm not going to do that. I was thinking, I'm like, damn, Nashville's paying a $15,000 sign-on bonus for law enforcement officers? Damn, bro. Husband's walking to his second job interview. This one is a family interview. I am here to tour the school too when he gets done talking to the administrators. Oh, nice. But, hopefully, wish him good luck. Good luck, David. Someone said you can't picture Steve in a suit. Yeah, I was in a suit. I was in a tux not too long ago. I looked like James Bond. James Bond. I have, didn't I? Do I have it on my phone? I think I do. I made that suit look good. My wife said I look like a mobster sitting there. Watch, I'll show you. I thought I looked great. Actually, I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, see? Look at that. There's me in a suit. My beard wasn't quite as long. But hell yeah. Substitute for WWE. Yeah, right. I don't know. But I think the substitutes get paid like freaking $110 a day. Can you imagine? There's no way. I could never do that. I was going to make it my profile picture, but then I was like, nah. But it's funny, though, because it looks okay when you're zoomed in, but on the back part of it, it looks like I'm missing half my head. And it's funny because it's cut out there because on the other side, she's sitting there with her glass of wine giving a toast to her friend. That was my face watching her give a toast to her friend. Maybe wearing the dresses is a social construct, but gender is biology. No, what my wife says, because I say the same thing. She says sex is biology. Sex is, and so she believes the same thing a lot of people believe, where a person should be and I don't believe that. A person should. I'm live on social media, so I'm trying to think of a way to say it to be appropriate, and I'm not quite sure how to do it. So maybe I should just shut up now. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are hyper focused on the trans issue with this shooting. I think we should be focused more on the fact that they deliberately targeted a Christian facility. That is more relevant, I think, to be honest. And let's hope it never happens, Someone said real men wear flannel. I did because my sweatshirt was dirty and it was a little cold. It was like we have a high of 54 degrees today. So I'm still wearing shorts. March 1st, I wear shorts every single day. Someone said I agree with her on the outward requirements as far as social construct. Yeah, I know. A lot of people would, right? Because she does make a good point. Say like, okay, why can't a guy wear a dress? Like literally come up with a reason why a guy can't wear a dress. Because it's not socially acceptable is the reason. There is no other reason. There's no law that says they can't do it or anything else like that. But to me, it goes far beyond that, right? Because at what point do you say, okay, it's no longer just a dude in a dress and it's someone that's infringing on the rights that women have fought so long to be able to have, like competing in their own sports and stuff like that, right? And that's where I disagree with it. And I don't believe that other people should be forced to recognize that ideology. Someone said he can, but it does not make him a woman. Yeah, I know. And trust me, I've had this conversation with her. This is why we don't really talk at home that much. You know what I mean? We don't. Someone said, of course, take for instance Ireland. You mean Scotland. But yeah. Or Ireland too. Irish with the kilts. I think Scottish wear kilts more than Irish. Could be wrong. But I think so. I don't know. We just live in a weird time, bro. We just live in a weird time. Any reason why the human went to take school? I don't know what that means. Gender isn't a social construct. Gender is a social construct, but sex isn't. You can't change your sex by changing your gender. So, yes. That is true. I don't know. It's very perplexing. No matter how, like, to me, we're never going to get to the bottom of the gun issue if we're only focused on the fact that this dude or this lady wanted to be a guy. We're never going to figure out. We're never going to have a solution to the issue, you know. And I don't know how you could actually seriously manage to fix the issue anyway. I really don't, because again, I don't know. It's just crazy. Someone said, you want to see the manifesto? Police chief said he hasn't read it all. It's been 24 hours. How long could it be? He's a police chief. He oversees the entire police force. Do you think this is the only thing he works on? Absolutely not. You know, they had probably had other shootings, other sexual assaults, other things that happen. Ron said, okay, so I need you more than ever for my substitute teacher. Yeah. I would be I almost want to do it just for fun. Like to be a substitute teacher just for a day. To walk into a class and be like, okay, everybody, I'm your substitute for the day. But I think it would be funny. It would be funny. I'd rather go drive a school bus. The school bus, I think I think being a school bus driver, you get, fuck, should I do that? I could do that and still do the show and coffee and all that stuff. I could just drive a school bus full of fucking annoying, obnoxious fucking kids. I don't know if I could do that either, to be honest with you. Man, that would be funny though. But school bus drivers make a decent amount. Don't they get teacher benefits and all that stuff too? I wonder. That is an interesting question. And they pay for the training. They do it every month here because they have such a shortage of school bus drivers. Someone said I'd go nuts. Yeah, you can't tell the kids to shut the fuck up. So I don't know. Am I allowed to wear like headphones so I don't have to listen to them? That would be funny. That would be funny. Boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to see. I want to see if it just says how much. I wonder if they do get benefits. You know, it's funny because when I was at that Trump rally, I was talking to someone who's been driving a school bus. Oh, they must, or at least down in Texas, because he said he drove a school bus. He quit doing whatever he did, and he works driving a school bus now every single day. And he says he gets a pension. He's only got 15 more years till he gets his pension. Someone said, but can you handle the kids? Sure. I mean, I would be stern. I'd be the sternest school bus driver. But I think school buses here, they also have, whatchamacallit? I think they also have, what the hell are they called? Teacher's aides. You know? Teacher's aides. Or school bus aides. Kids wouldn't fuck around. I'd be like, hey, sit down, be quiet, stop. I'm a big scary guy. Yeah, school bus monitors. Bus monitors, whatever. I think that's what they have. Because I know I have a family member that worked as a bus monitor for like 10 years, right? And then now works higher up in the bus industry with a school district. She works in an office now. Do they get pension? Does anyone know that? Do school bus drivers get a pension? Seriously, does anybody know that one? That would be interesting. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. It would be funny. Any school employee does? What? Shut the fuck up. What? Shut the fuck up. Full-time bus driver position offer full benefits, including retirement and health insurance. Bus drivers work 183 days per year, generally about 3 hours per day. Parents and grandparents may bring their children or grandchildren who are too young to attend after school along with them. Since a position is only 15 or 20 hours per week, many are part-time, including substitute teachers. Many part-time staff, including substitute teachers, are eligible to maintain their part-time role and also apply for these positions. How does that work? How can you be a substitute teacher if you're a school bus driver? Full-time, you get $80 per day for 6 hours of driving a day. That's funny. Yeah, but you're not getting shit for pension if you're only making $60 a day. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm not going to go deal with kids for $60 a day. Are you kidding me? Someone said, yes, they get all the benefits. Yeah, I didn't know that. Someone said, if they work for the school, they do, but if not for a bus company. Like, if it was like $180 a day or something like that, I could maybe go deal with that. Because that, I mean, think about it. I could literally do this all day long. The only thing is I get up a little bit early, I go in, drive a bus, pick up all these little shitheads in the morning, and then I come in here and flip coffee and do all that, and then I go there and I pick up all the little shitheads from the school and drop them off, and then I come here and do a night show every day. Damn, I could actually do that. That would be funny. But I'm not doing it for fucking $60 a day. Are you kidding me? 10 days sick leave, 2 personal days, health insurance and dental and vision, VRS for retirement, group life insurance, summers off, extra work opportunities. But you don't get paid during the summer, right? I don't know how that works. I'm very curious about that. And how do you become a substitute teacher if you're doing that? But the cool thing is they do a 3-day training. They pay for your CDL. So you don't even have to do the CDL. It's a 3-day training. Texas about 20 hours, but guaranteed to be like 25 hours. Yeah. Would make good merch, Steve. School bus Steve. Yeah. I would. I'd be like happy to get more. You guys are kind of selling me on this shit. I'm like, maybe I should go do this. But when school's over, you go out and get on a bus. Yeah, but what do you do? Like, how do you start your class? That doesn't make any sense. Because then you're double dipping. You could be a school bus driver and a full-time substitute. You're essentially a teacher. You know what I mean? Your day's just a little bit longer. But that, to be honest, that would be a good job to work with this schedule. And I would still have my summers free. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not fucking doing it. But it's interesting. I'll be honest, I would seriously consider it. I thought it was like $180 a day. I didn't think it was $80 a day. But still, 80. So like the top end pay is $83.19. If you're working 3 hours a day, damn, that's still not bad. That's what, $25 an hour, something like that. Just the split schedule sucks. You have bus drivers, custodians. We have a coach that drives a bus too for an extra $15,000 a year. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool just to be able to have a pension. You know what I mean? Because I would just max out how much you can contribute of your paycheck. You know what I mean? And then get the. It's kind of interesting. but the fucking kids, bro. That's the only problem. Like the kids, they would be pushing. You know, you guys see how I react to it? The one-off troll that comes into this live feed. Can you imagine? It would be like having 50 trolls live every single day. There's not a fucking chance in hell. I'd probably have that job. I'd have that job shorter than I did the last trucking job. Seriously, I'd get on. First kid would be like, "Your beard's crooked." I'd be like, "Your face is crooked," and they'd be like, "Off, you're fired." But then again, then I would get my CDL through that. Well, I'd get a Class B, right? Class B CDL. You could be a PE teacher and not have the kids power lift. Yeah, but the problem with that is a PE teacher. Because I looked at it, I would have to go back to school. I am not going back to school. I'll promise you that. I thought about it because for a little bit, I'm like, listen, teachers are fucking up our kids. The only way for me to fix it is to become a teacher. And so that way I can like try not to fuck up the kids. You know what I mean? But then I started looking into school again. I went as far as to contact the school and they grabbed my transcripts and they're like, yeah, you would have to do like 30 more credits or some shit like that. And I'm like, fuck off. I said, I'm not doing that. Spending all that money. I wouldn't qualify for anything anymore. The camera on the bus would catch you the first day. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. Someone said, how can you drive without a CDL? You can't. They do the training. So they do the CDL training at no cost in 2 days. Like you literally get hired by them, do your fingerprints, do your background check, child abuse check, pass drug and alcohol screening, and then bada boom, bus driver physical, and then bada bing, bada boom. You know? But that'd be funny. I wonder how much they can contribute to the retirement. Because then you could have a pension, which would be funny. What is this? Oh, that's a bill. Class B with air brake and passenger endorsements. Yeah, but only up to what? What's a school bus? 33,000 pounds? Something like that? Does anybody know? Military outlaw or any of you guys? That's why you need the CDL because it's over 15 passengers, right? Someone said, when you were a school bus driver, I had to learn to drive the bus backwards through the serpentine. I don't know what that means, but I drove straight trucks for like 10 years. So driving a school bus is nothing. You know, I could do that with my eyes closed. They should pay more. If you have such an issue, why don't they pay more? Do you know what I mean? Most school bus drivers are unions up north. Are they really? Boom, 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 boom. The footage of that protest is now over. School drivers in our small town pay over $20 an hour. Yeah, I mean, that's what this one works out. If you're only working 3 hours a day and you're making $80 a day, you're making what? $25 an hour? 26, something like that. Which is not bad considering all the benefits from it. Paid sick days and all that shit. Like sick days are fun. Huh. Yeah. It's like, here's a job description. Let's all, this should be fun. Here's a job description. Let's see if I could do it. I already know. I already saw one that I couldn't do it. It says, provide transportation of students to and from school in a safe and efficient manner in accordance with federal law and school board policy. That wouldn't be an issue. Complete a pre-trip daily inspection of the vehicle. Easy. Complete ridership form listing students riding the bus, their pickup and discharge times, address, and grade. Great. Provide for appropriate management of student behavior while riding the bus. Boom, I fail. Like, I could not do that because I would I would lose my shit. One little kid is like, no. I mean, no. It would be fun. It does like pique my interest in saying the school bus and a substitute teacher, because then you're essentially a teacher and you don't need to go get a degree and all that, and you're still making the money. So you're making like a full-time teacher salary. You're already getting the retirement benefits and all that stuff, but you don't need to go back to school. And there's such a teacher shortage, you can get a full-time assignment right away. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Someone said we would have to do a live stream marathon to raise bail money, right? Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. That would be funny. That would be funny. Yeah, if you have more than 15, you need a CDL anyway. That's why, like, limos, you need a CDL for limos that carry over 15 people. That's across the board. That's across the board. All right, so as a reminder for everybody, the riot coverage is over. So as a reminder for everybody, if you would like a chance to win a television today, all you have to do, it's very easy. All you have to do is send a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal to our Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, any amount. For every dollar that you send is an entry to the giveaway. You only have until 5 o'clock to do it, though, because I got to put it all on a spreadsheet. And here's the best part. We're doing the TV giveaway live at 8 o'clock, and then after, we are going to donate 50% of the total revenue that we take in, which as of this morning was around $434. We're going to donate to the Covenant School, which is the school where the mass shooting occurred yesterday. So I will... Cornelius George said, come to Iowa, I'll set you up becoming a farmer. Yeah. Well, give me land, give me a house, give me a tractor, and I'm all out there. Like, deed it to me and everything. And then we'll be out there, and I'll be a farmer. But my wife won't move anywhere, unfortunately. Anyway, I will see all of you guys tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you for hanging out. If you want to win a TV, follow the instructions in the chat when they put it in there, or I'll just write this for now and then go. And yeah, I appreciate all you guys, and I will see you tonight, 8 o'clock. All right.